I sometimes wonder with some of the films that I sometimes go into where did the director really or the writer specifically have a certain actor in mind for certain roles, or did they just take inspiration from their own lives? To give an example of what the hell I'm actually saying, think of The Gray for a minute. In The Gray, it was about Liam Neeson's character John Otway, uh, suffering from he depression. Really, his wife has died. He is, the great line he put it, like surrounded by men unfit for mankind. Pretty good allegory for say Hollywood, perchance. And originally, Joe Carnahan was going to have Bradley Cooper, but having Liam Neeson there just works so much better. Now, what the fuck does this have to do with Birdman? You're probably all asking. Um, well, Birdman is one of those films where I'm sitting there going, did the director, whose name I absolutely know I'm going to butcher because it's one of those Mexican names, Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu. Okay, I think I said that right. I'm just going to call him Alejandro Gonzalez. He's him and Guillermo del Toro and Alfonso Cuarón. I think they're labeled as the Three Amigos of Cinema. Anyways, this film, Birdman. Yeah, going back to what I was saying about The Gray, did Alejandro Gonzalez think of Michael Keaton as Batman when he was coming up with this? Because there are so many things in this film, just aspects that just mirror Michael Keaton. Wow, and it's ridiculous. And just the story itself and how the film's being received now, it's just I don't know, it's great. I think that's fantastic directing right there. Yeah, I love this movie, Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. It's a sort of satire, black comedy drama about hmm, well, what is it about really? Anyways, Birdman's about this guy, actor named Thompson. He's a washed-up Hollywood actor. He was once this popular superhero named Birdman. And you actually do get to see the Birdman suit and Michael Keaton in the Birdman suit, and it is just wow. Yeah, and you probably couldn't figure it out already. It's a parallel to when Michael Keaton was Batman, obviously. Hell, even to when he stopped being Birdman. He said, "Oh, I finished being Birdman in '92. I said no to Birdman 4." Anyways, he was part of 3 blockbuster films, all hugely successful. And since then, that was 20 something years ago, and now he's nothing, really. So he decides to try and reinvent his career a bit by writing, directing, and starring in his own play in his own theater play on Broadway. An adaptation of Raymond Carver's short story "What We Talk About When We Talk About Love." Anyways, in essence, the film is really about the central idea from what I get is what is almost what is an actor, what is a celebrity? Because there's plenty of references they make to sort of big name actors at the time. I think they kind of blast Robert Downey Jr. a bit. Is he doing that because it's acting talent, or is it because he's a celebrity? There's this great bit. There's this critic in the film who's just wow. Kind of I figured this is what anyone knows Zero Punctuation, Ben Yahtzee Croshaw or whatever. He does those great reviews. I often think, is this what if a game developer meets this guy, that's what Yahtzee would probably say to him or her? I don't know. This critic just has this great line. It's he says to Michael Keaton, it's I'm going to destroy your play. You're not an actor, you're a celebrity. And just got me thinking really about stuff. They make plenty of references to I guess current actors and films at the time. Really, I guess that were being filmed. The film I think was filmed in 2013 because I think you saw Man of Steel. I think I saw Man of Steel posters at one point when my friend did. So yeah, it's about all these just behind the scenes stuff of just trying to get this play going, and just all the shit that goes on. Really, all these actors Edward Norton, who's just phenomenal in the film. He plays this method actor. It's named Mike Sheener, who's just ridiculous. And he's just such a method actor. He has his own standards and everything. It's just ridiculous. Naomi Watts is was another theater actor. She's one of those types that came from Hollywood or television or whatever and just wanted to make it in Broadway. It's also good. Other stuff. Emma Stone is Michael Keaton's daughter. who's suffering from, who just came out of rehab, so suffering from drug withdrawals or is still into drugs. And this might be a weird thing to notice, but I only noticed it in this film. Emma Stone has gigantic eyes. Like, some scenes I'm like, whoa! I didn't know eyes stretch that big. Like, maybe it's because the one preview they showed was for the movie Big Eyes, where, well, there's a scene in the trailer where Amy Adams sees a woman with, like, you know, obviously, like, digitally enhanced eyes or something, like, bigger eyes, and it's like, some scenes I'm like, those things are giant! There are, like, there are so many, like, Oscar clips in this. Like, everyone is doing a phenomenal job. There's this absolutely fantastic scene where Michael Keaton just, like, that critic I mentioned, he just rips that critic apart. And I almost think, like, is this how actors, like, this is how they see critics and how they just, because, let's face it, people, everyone hates critics. Just, everyone hates them. Like, I don't care what side of it is. I think just, especially from this side, where it's like, you know, the actors and all that, like, I'm pretty sure everyone hates critics. There's just no way to get around it, really. And also to note, from a technical note, the film appears to be one long take, like one entire long take. Like, it goes through a lot of hallways. It's outside. It's inside. It's going from there to there. And yeah, it's just like, whoa. After like a few minutes, you're like, whoa, this is all one take. And yeah, but really, everything that's been said about this film, it's just great. Really, it's really funny. It's like a black comedy or like a dark comedy in a way. A lot of good like social commentary, we'll call it, about like the acting business, Hollywood, and everything, and I guess just how like fucked up it really is sometimes. But it's just great to see, really. And Michael Keaton is like, he's given the performance of like a lifetime. Really, since like Batman Returns, what has Michael Keaton done that's been like noteworthy? Toy Story 3? I don't know. That was just a voice role. But really, what has Michael Keaton done where you're just like, yeah, since Batman Returns, nothing really. And which is why the whole, like, everyone's saying, oh, it's the comeback of the century, really, for Michael Keaton. And yeah, it's gotten quite a bit of award attention and whatnot, especially at the Independent Spirit Awards. Had quite a few writers, like 4 writers. I don't know. But nothing much else to say. It's just, it's the kind of film I like. Just seeing Michael Keaton just going through hell and back, just trying to get this play going, and just every time they do one of these preview screenings, I guess we'll call them, just something goes wrong. And yeah, and basically he's doing all this because, well, one, he wants to reinvent his career, and because he just wants to matter, which is really just, I think, it's a fantastic scene with Emma Stone where she's just like, I don't want to give it away too much, but just a fantastic scene with Emma Stone where after he mentions that he just wants to matter type thing. But I think it's a great film, one of my favorites of this year, absolutely. Don't know what else to say apart from Edward Norton. I didn't know you were that big. And I guess we can finally say we know who'd win in a fight between Batman and the Hulk. So yeah, I'm rambling all over the place, but basically it's just great, really. It's I wonder if this is what Michael Keaton actually goes through. It's great because Michael Keaton and the rest of the cast are fantastic. It's that whole it's all filmed in one shot thing. It's all filmed in one shot type thing. Sorry, I'm really itchy. And it's just fascinating to see just the lives of actors and all the mayhem they go through, and just really Broadway in a sense. Also, Zach Galifianakis, who's also like great in this film, finally actually playing a character, not just playing like, 40-something dumbass self, which is nice. After all those like Hangover films, which were stupid. Yeah, for those who don't know, I actually don't like The Hangover very much. Oh, spoilers. And yeah, but like I said, this mirrors Michael Keaton's life very well, I must say, to the point where it's almost like scary. It's just like, like what if Michael Keaton had said no to this? That would have been. It's like who else would they have used? Like Robert Downey Jr. or something? I don't know. Or maybe like one of the other Birdmen, I guess. But it makes this good. Like going on that whole like, are you an actor or are you a celebrity thing? That seems to be sort of like the centered like theme idea in the film, which executed quite well, I must say. Especially there's this great bit where he says like, he's telling this story. He was on a plane with George Clooney, like they were in through a massive storm. It's like, and it was just after he was done Birdman. He said that if that plane had crashed, on the front page would be George Clooney dead, and I would just have a tiny little thing, no picture of me, no nothing. And that's like, I don't know, it's just a neat bit, really. And there's also some great bits with his ex-wife, Michael Keaton, Regan Thompson's ex-wife, Sylvia, played by Amy Ryan, who at first I mistaked her for Gwyneth Paltrow a bit. But yeah, I'm all over the place, but just watch Birdman. It's great. Birdman, or the unexpected virtue of ignorance is bliss. He's a very ignorant person as well, Regan Thompson, Birdman. He doesn't like social media very much. I think when Emma Stone makes him a Twitter, he's like, "Why'd you do that?" It's like, "Yeah, because you're popular now." And also, it can do other sort of things, like he's got telekinetic powers and levitation. Seriously, it's ridiculous. And so it's all becomes a question of like, is this all in his psyche, or is this actually happening? I don't know. But if you do want to play a neat little drinking game, play Spot the Edit. Because, like, I think I got up to about 5 or 6 or so, and I don't even drink. But play Spot the Edit when you go watch this movie. It's pretty, like, when you could tell, like, is that an obvious cut? Like literally, the whole film really feels like it's one long take. How do they do that? I don't know. Especially throughout the entire film. That's all I see, so see you later. Oh, yeah. I give this a nice, yeah, what the fuck? 10 out of 10. This film's, like, just great, and definitely watch it again sometime. Alright, and I must say, it's been pretty, like, slow for Oscar season, I must say. I mean, the big ones I'm hearing are, this, Boyhood, which I kind of disagree with, well, mostly. And a couple others I haven't like heard of or seen, but for the most part, Oscar season's fairly slow. I mean, look, it's already November 29th. Like, I don't know, there's haven't been much I could think they're going, that's an Oscar film. Some say Gone Girl might be, but some say it's too commercial-esque. I mean, like, yeah, it was a big film and all, but I mean, come on. Best actress to Rosamund Pike, something like that. And to Tyler Perry and Ben Affleck. But yeah, Birdman was awesome, so see you later. And just for the record, I really want to watch it. If Birdman was an actual movie, like, about the hero, like those 3 films, I would pay full price to see them. Well, I could just probably watch Batman and Batman Returns, but yeah, whatever. I would, you know what I mean. All right, see you later.